Lego Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee. Version 3.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Say here. Let's get right into it. Nice.
Well, excuse me, good sir. Would you be so kind as to give me a sheesh, please?
But of course, my good man, of course. Okay, now let me stop playing. First things first, if you guys are interested in building that Transformers Age of Extinction Steeljaw build that I showcased in my Transformers AOE lockdown video, the instructions are now available for purchase on Rebrickable. And on top of that, we've also finally got Transformers 2007 Scorponok on there available for purchase as well. So I'll leave the link to my Rebrickable page in the description. Okay, now back to this Bumblebee here. Bro, I'm not even gonna hold you. This is technically a 16-year build.
Huh? Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Yo, nah, hold up. That's not cap, bro. Because since I was like 13, 14 years old, I've been trying to build this gray, black, and yellow robot. Like, I don't know why Bumblebee is so difficult to build out of Lego. When I was little, I did Prime easily. I did Bone Crusher easily. Bro, I even did Leadfoot easily. But every time I tried that Bumblebee, he came out dusty looking. But you know what, bro? I'm not even gonna hold you. You have to start out dusty sometimes. You have to prevail through the dustiness before you can get the goodness. And so now, after 16 years of failure, we have a pretty good looking Bumblebee with good proportions, with a pretty good movie accurate face, and with no stand required to hold it upright. Now with this bee, I gave him a horizontal splitting chest instead of the diagonal upward splitting chest that I gave my previous Transformers 2007 movie Bumblebee mocks. And believe it or not, this is actually not movie accurate, but man, I feel like this version of Bumblebee's chest that splits horizontally looks so much better than the diagonally splitting chest. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about this version here. Another major constructional issue that I had with my previous Bumblebee builds was stability and sturdiness. However, with this build here, I have doubled up on all the joints and I use a lot more ball joints now, which are way stronger than the clip hinge joints. Swinging around to the back, the kibble management isn't perfect. However, I've been working on it recently and I've gotten it down to the point to where the kibble folds down enough to allow for my Transformer mocks to stand upright without any additional support. Oh. And the reason this is such a big improvement is because previously all of my other Bumblebee mocks required stands, so seeing this guy without a stand is a nice breath of fresh air. One of the things I still think is really cool about my Transformer mocks is the fact that I use the brake lights here to act as stabilizers in their robot mode, so it prevents them from falling backward even though their upper back is a little top heavy. And lastly, one of the hardest things that I finally learned how to do with my car Transformers is getting the doors to act as the wings like how they're displayed in the movie. Because in all of my other previous mocks, in order to get this to work, I had to make a major sacrifice. Like I either had to have the build have extremely bad back kibble, or the stability had to be sacrificed, or some other details that I wanted in there had to go. But we finally got it now.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, we've been doing a lot of talking about the back of Bumblebee here, but can we take just a minute to acknowledge some of the detailing on the front right now, bro? Just a minute. Okay, so boom. Let's take a look at the lower portion of his body here. Got a whole bunch of pieces to represent the detailing within his legs. We've got bolts, we've got screws, and we've got gears to represent the inner workings of them, just littered all over his legs. Just littered, like trash. Okay, now coming up to the upper body here, midsection looking pretty clean and realistic. But what I really want to focus on is this bumper right here. Now there's nothing crazy going on, but I did finally manage to get this front curvature here to look more natural. And I also got the headlight grille combination back to bumper, back to headlight grille combination to look way more natural. And because of that, this really gives Bumblebee's chest here this weird element of realism. So as opposed to it looking like a Lego version of a 2007 Camaro like my previous builds, this actually looks like a realistic 2007 Camaro bumper here. And to finish it off with the details here, we've of course got the fully detailed hand cannon. Ooh. Some light but realistic detailing within the arms.
Nice.
And of course my custom designed Transformers Bumblebee head sculpt, which I've actually used for every Bumblebee mock I've made to date.
Wow.
Speaking of the head sculpt though, fun fact, it actually took me 5 to 6 hours to design this head when I first built it. Which is actually pretty crazy because this is only about 30 pieces, yet it took me 5 to 6 hours to build it. Okay, now just a quick side note before we get into the size comparisons. If you guys are interested in having me build your favorite Lego Transformers and reviewing them on the channel here, you should definitely consider becoming a Patreon. And on top of that perk, you also get access to all of my instructions instead of having to buy them one by one or rebrickable. Okay, now size comparison time. Here we have Bumblebee next to a minifigure, and then here he is next to my 6-inch cell phone. So this brings him up to about 8.5 inches, which is really the standard size for all of my car Transformers now. And you know what? Honestly, building bigger is so much harder than when I used to build small because you have this extra element of stability you have to worry about with everything you do now. So the build has to look good. It now has to transform, and it actually has to be stable enough to manage the weight of the larger pieces. Because the pieces that allow other pieces to move and allow for transformation, bro, they don't get stronger as you build bigger. So you have to start doubling up on stuff, reinforcing stuff. It starts to get really crazy and you got to get really creative. But I like building bigger because it allows you to build these fully fleshed out faces here and just really bring your builds to life. But enough of that story, let's get back into this vehicle mode. Okay, and now here we have Bumblebee back in his 2007 Camaro vehicle mode. And boy, I'ma just keep it a buck, I might like this vehicle mode more than the robot mode.
Nani?
And you know what? It's still this bumper for me, man. Like this curvature and the way the lights are transitioning and all the realism and all that, is hitting for me. But in all seriousness, we do have two main factors that contribute to this better looking vehicle mode compared to my version 2. Number one is the wheels are bigger, so they're more in proportion with the actual size of the car frame. And just the way I place the curved slopes and tile pieces on this version make it look a lot closer to the source material than any of my other versions that I've built previously. So for example, the curved slopes on the back portion of the car here, as well as the curved slopes on the outside of the rear window here, and the curved slopes on the back tail fin section here. And if we take a closer look at the back of the vehicle mode here, you'll see those back brake light stabilizers right under his feet right here, which is just so cool to me because they actually end up pretty much where they're supposed to be in the back of his vehicle mode. Now, other than the curvatures, there's one more thing that you would think wouldn't make a difference, but makes a world of a difference. This little exhaust curvature right here, which sits on the front hood of the car. Now you would think, oh, this is just a little detail, nothing crazy. Wouldn't make a difference if I removed it. But no, this makes a world of a difference. Because just that little detail adds to the overall curvy looking aesthetic. Now, another interesting technique that I tried with this build here is instead of building the black stripes like within the actual model itself, I kind of just tabbed them on the outside of the model like stickers here. And I feel like that was such a better idea than the way I had previously been applying them, which was building them into the actual design itself, because it really makes the black stripes pop off the vehicle mode now. Now, let's not forget about Bumblebee's hand cannon here, which can just sit on the front portion of his vehicle mode like so. Or if he wants to get a little crazy, he can put it on the top portion of his vehicle mode and sport it like that as well. Okay, now next up we got Transformers 1977 Camaro Bumblebee version 3. But if you guys are interested in seeing another one of my Lego Transformers, I'll leave the link to my Lego Transformers Rise of the Beast Nightbird at the end of this video.